Alright, Squatters Rambling on Gate of Thunder. Now this was an actual fun game. I have a lot to say about it. Now Gate of Thunder is a Super CD-ROM game for the TurboGrafx 16 CD, and it's one of the glut, I'll be honest, it's one of the glut of the shoot-'em-up genre that they have ever permeating the system, as was very, very frequent back in the day. And I'm sure I've mentioned before on some of my other reviews as to why that is. It's because they're easy to translate, very easy to port, easy to localize. There's not a whole lot of translation difficulties and everything like that. Not a whole lot of text, not a whole lot of speech. It's all action-based graphics, right? So I think that's why this was the sort of go-to genre for the TurboGrafx and its CD add-on. There are a lot of games like this: Psychosis, Blazing Lasers, Dragon Spirit. There are so many, honestly. But this one it's pretty much the same, honestly. It's the same kind of action that you would get from any other side-scrolling shooter. I mean, it only scrolls left to right. It's not top to bottom or diagonal or anything. But and it's got a really simplistic storyline. You play this guy named Hawk, and he's got this woman friend named Etsy, or Esty, or whatever her name is, and they're fighting against, the Oberon soldiers and stuff, led by Don Jingy and his little cohort Eagle. A very, very simple storyline, very bare bones and everything. The music is really good, I would say. I really like the music. It's good and hard rocking and everything. It fits the game perfectly, I would say. And I would say that the sprite design, the graphics design, is actually very good. I would really put it above Sid Mead's Terraforming, another game that I also played on the TurboGrafx CD. I would say that they're much more original, they're much more detailed, they're bigger and more detailed sprites. This is especially interesting considering that Sid Mead, the guy who is said to have had creative input on Terraforming, the same guy who, I think he did Blade Runner. Again, a very talented artist and everything, but all of the bad guys, all of the guys you were shooting, they look like spores, molds, fungus, weird embryonic fly things, insects, turtles, weird things, yeah. But I mean, it's sort of like a Gundam Wing before Gundam Wing, you know. And I don't know if Gundam Wing came before this. This was 1992, so I'm not familiar on the lore of Gundam Wing, but I would say that the graphics are very well done. I would say, especially for the time, they had big sprites. Definitely is the thing that stood out for me, and they had a lot of different frames of movement, so that was really entertaining, I would say. So, well, one thing I was thinking about with this game is that I'm not sure about the history at all. Again, this is a standalone game as far as I know. I mean, it was released in North America as a standalone game. A lot of people try to consider Lords of Thunder to be the sequel, even though it's an entirely different universe. It's essentially a different game, different universe, and 100%. It's not in any way related. The name in Japanese is completely different. They just tried to kind of link it because it was the same kind of game and the same kind of genre, a side-scrolling shooter. Of course, Lords of Thunder is worlds more advanced. Absolutely, it's got a whole bunch of different things you can do. You can purchase things and everything. It's scrolling in multiple different directions, diagonal, up, down, left, right, and everything. It's a great game and everything. So is Gate of Thunder. But here's me just. I'm just looking at this game and thinking, well, maybe I'm interpreting something that isn't there, but I'm thinking about this and I'm watching the credits and I thought, yeah, okay, we killed off big bad old Don Jiggy and his evil Oberon Empire and everything, but this Eagle character, right? And at the beginning of the game, you've shown Hawk. And he's clutching some sort of medallion, kind of looks like a scarab. And then at the end, you see, after the destruction of the very Death Star-like planet Oberon, And then boom! Right, but whatever, no. So what seems to be happening is that, in my mind, and of course, I guess this is obvious to anybody who plays it, they're essentially trying to say that Hawk and Eagle are brothers, maybe? Because at the end of the game, after the credits and everything, they fly back to their little GSAP place or something. And I'm kind of repeating screenshots here. But yeah, at the end, you get this little thing. Now, I didn't even know who that was at that point. Periodically, this guy would come out and you'd have to fight him. He'd be a sort of mini boss. And I'm like, okay, it's probably Eagle. Turns out it is. Well, look, there's his little scarab pendant, right? And oh, does it have a 1 on there? And that's probably him down in the left, and that's probably Hawk on the right, you know? So, oh, neat little thing you did there, buddy. Whoa, what a fucking twist. M. Night Shyamalan, that shit, right? And off he goes into the dark to waste all his fuel and die of starvation or lack of oxygen in the cold vacuum of space. Thus ends Gate of Thunder. All right, thank you very much, everybody. See you later.